Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, honorable city council members, to our mayor, our city treasurer and city clerk in their absence, to our city attorney, the administrative staff, our audience in attendance here in the council chambers, and those viewing via our broadcast channel and YouTube Live. I hope everyone had a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving with friends and loved ones. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting. Today is Monday, November 28th, 2022. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the table in the back of the chambers and hand it to me, the deputy clerk. Additionally, members of the public who are viewing tonight's meeting via our broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their comments to public comment at romulusgov.com. At this time, we will have roll call. Councilwoman Abdo.
Here.
Councilman Barden.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe.
Here.
Councilwoman Talley.
Here.
Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilwoman Webb.
Here.
And Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Chair, there is a quorum for tonight's meeting.
Thank you.
Tonight's meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11 is warrant. 12, communication. And number 13 is adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept tonight's meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Abdo, for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Agenda item 2A for approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, November 14th, 2022 at 7:30 p.m.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth?
I'm going to make a motion that we approve, that we approve the regular meeting of the council that was held on November 14th.
Support.
It's motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the regular meeting held on November the 14th at 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Abstain.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Agenda item 2B for approval are the minutes from the special meeting executive session held on Monday, November 14, 2022 at 7 p.m. to discuss an attorney's opinion.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Wadsworth?
I'm going to move that we approve the special meeting that was held on Monday, November the 14th.
Support.
A motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the minutes from our special meeting held on Monday, the 14th at 7 p.m. Discuss attorney opinion. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Agenda item 3 is petitioner. We do have one petitioner under tonight's agenda, and this is for a special assessment district for the reconstruction and or repaving of Branch Street and Cypress Street. A special assessment district petition was filed in the clerk's office on November 15, 2022, with signatures of 78.88% of property owners within the proposed special assessment district, petitioning the Romulus City Council to reconstruct Branch Street and Cypress Street between Ecorse Road and Beverly Road. In accordance with the Romulus Code of Ordinance, Chapter 50, council shall, by resolution, determine the necessity for the improvement within the city for any public use or purpose, or to bring about the abatement of this public nuisance. We do have the petitioner here, Mr. Romano. He's going to present his petition to this body. Upon conclusion of the presentation, there are 2 action items that is required by council, should council elect to proceed forward with this petition. Mr. Romano.
Good evening. I'm here for representing the petitioners that own buildings on this property, and we're here in front of you to set up the district to try to get Branch Street and Cypress repaved. The road's in pretty rough shape. As a landlord, we've had tenants that have passed on our buildings because of the road. We've got numerous complaints on vehicles that have, tires gotten flat, rims gotten broken, and trucks making deliveries, constant complaints about how their cargo is getting knocked over because they're up and down that road. Especially as in this picture right here where Branch Street comes up on the E-Course Road. That road right there, it's a mess. You gotta go slow. I'm surprised we haven't had more accidents in front of that intersection right there. But if I could show you a few pictures, again, that's E-Course. It's a mess. In the wintertime, it freezes. There's potholes there. You can't see them with the water. As you're going down the street, the curb's rough. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's traveled that road, but that road is in really bad shape and disarray and needs to be replaced.
It's okay.
John?
Mr. Wadsworth, you had?
Go ahead. I'll
Go
wait
ahead.
till he's done.
They're pretty much, like I say, redundant pictures, just potholes, curbs damaged, sewers probably need to be looked at. And that's the extent of the pictures.
Mr.
I
Wadsworth?
guess my question would be to Roberto, what would be the funding mechanism for this special assessment, or?
Good evening, Council. Yeah, that's what Mr. Romano here is requesting, is that council take a look at and pass by resolution tonight a need for the city to move forward and start to put together the components to a special assessment. So we've tried in the past, and we've worked with the property owners in the past to set up an assessment, but there was not enough willing participants of property owners that wanted to join the assessment and push it over that 51% majority vote for the assessment. So now Mr. Romano has completed that petition. It sounds like there's overwhelmingly a lot of support, and these folks are willing to pay for the improvements to this road system. So that would be administered by the city. We would bond out and potentially look at some other sources inside the city where we could couple some bonding with some improvements. That's all yet to be determined. But this is the initial stage of starting that process and looking at this complex and putting together some costs.
I mean, it sounds like a good plan, but I mean, I think about our subdivisions have roads that are also crumbling. I mean, are these folks that have signed this petition, are they the only ones that are going to have to pay? Or
Yes.
are the rest of the taxpayers going to?
The district,
burden
there's
any-
already a rudimentary district kind of a layout that the city assessor has put together, and it encompasses all the businesses surrounding this road system. So it's not any customers or residents outside this road system that would be charged for the improvement.
All right,
It's
fine.
only the properties that front this road.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any, through the chair, are there any residents in that area that you're speaking of?
No residents.
Okay.
All commercial.
Now, you're stating, sir, that, well, the paperwork states 51% of the people signature on here. I think I only am familiar with maybe one person's name on here, as well as, yes, we definitely appreciate you all wanting to pay for this. But at the present time,
I will not vote for this evening, only due to the fact I don't have anything here in black and white, and it's only one person representing 52% of the businesses. If they were that interested, I think they would have been standing before this council real quick, all 51%. I know I would have.
Petition for that? Isn't that what the petition's for? You got
What-
a petition with notary signatures on it.
I have a
I don't know what else we would expect to happen.
We have two more council people who want to speak, Ms. Williams and then Ms. Roscoe. Ms.
I went
Williams?
down that street once I received the council packet, and it is terrible. And I really appreciate the businesses that are willing to pay and not put it on the backs of the taxpayers. I do understand that you will be having a public hearing on Monday, January the 9th. So if any other businesses want to attend or have anything to say for it or against it, that will be their opportunity. Am I correct?
Yeah, and I don't know if I want to turn it over to Dejan. Dejan, do you know kind of the steps that would take place? I don't want to put you on the spot, but
That's no problem. So, through the chair, tonight's process is for council to either decide to proceed forward with the special assessment district. So the two action items that will be before council is for council to determine a necessity. With that resolution, then it therefore goes to our city engineers who will, of course, in conjunction with DPW, develop the cost, what's necessary for the material, any incidentals. We will also request that council schedule a public hearing. At that time, council will hear objections to any individuals or any property owners who do not want to be, have this special assessment district established. At the stage tonight is if council determines a necessity and would like to proceed forward, just to see what those numbers are.
So with the two that we're voting on tonight, are one of them including the scheduled study session for Monday, January the 9th?
The public hearing, that's correct.
Okay, the public hearing. So again, I say thank you for being a business here in the city of Romulus and willing to pay your fair share to fix the roads that it don't be on the backs of the taxpayers. Thank you.
Ms. Roscoe?
First of all, thanks, John, for bringing this. I've been down that road forever. I work right off of Middle Belt and E-Course on the backside over there. I know quite a few of the business owners over there. They come into where I work. And my son used to work at the very end of Cypress, at the very end of Brant, and I've been down that road many times in the wintertime, and as soon as the snow comes, as soon as the water comes, it's flooded, it's a sheet of ice. E-Course Road, it's always flooded when you come out off of Brant on E-Course, because I come home that way every day. And just the traffic as far as trying to get through the water and whatever is horrific. I think it's 78% is a lot of the businesses. I would not be surprised if the rest of them really don't want to see that road fixed. I mean, it's very difficult for all the workers that go down through there. And I think it's about time, and the businesses are taking responsibility to pay for it is the biggest part of the component here. So, but I know for a fact, lots of experience down that road when it's been like treacherous. So, and as far as accidents go, there are accidents that are coming out of E-Course Road when it's flooded and people are trying to, the ice and everything, because I've seen it myself. So, very much needed. Very much needed. Thank you for,
Mayor
I don't know who
McCray.
started the position, but well needed.
Okay, done.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley, and then
Mayor
Mayor
Romano, I
McCray.
just want to say thank you. I mean, I can't see what's the bad side. For you guys to take this on and own this, that's commendable. So I just apologize, because I can't imagine what you guys are going through, the employees, just trying to do business over there. It's gotta be horrendous, so thank you. That's all I can say is just thank you.
Okay. Mayor McCray?
Just another point to make on the road as well, and the condition of the road. A few years ago, we did a cold patch Friday when everybody that came into work had to throw cold patch. So I was on a crew that day, and we threw 4 trucks of patch on just this road. So the ongoing, if we don't replace this road, you know, in a partnership with the property owners over there, it's a continuing drain and a burden on the DPW to try to cold patch every year to keep out there, and it's an extensive effort there. Roberto, you wouldn't happen to know the Pazer rating for this stretch of road, would you? This is a failed road? It's a failed road system, so I appreciate it, and we'd love to be able to fund this one for you. And you've been asking for years, and unfortunately, we just don't have the funding there yet. So I'm glad to see that you guys are taking some ownership of it, and you guys want to see an improvement in the area, so thank you.
Thank you.
Any more comments from council? Mr. Wadsworth?
Roberto, this road would be totally taken out and a new one put down. Is that the goal?
Correct, yeah, it would be a full reconstruction.
What about the water and sewer lines? Would they be affected by any?
No water sewer there. We have no issues that are known of out there. There might be some storm sewer that might be replaced, but there's no, deep utility like water or sanitary sewer to be replaced.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
John, through the chair from...
Yes, Ms. Webb?
A couple of more questions. Storm sewer, whose responsibility would that be?
The cities,
Pardon me?
the cities.
And we're going to have to use city monies in order for the engineers to prepare a report.
Well, I want to kind of back that up for a second. So funding and responsibility or ownership or jurisdiction, I want to separate those two.
Okay.
The storm sewer is under city jurisdiction.
Right.
However, as part of this project, the complex is willing to construct and build what needs to be made whole for the road project itself.
Okay.
So right now, there's, we're not talking who's paying for what yet.
And I'm not being the bad guy.
Oh, no, I understand.
You know, usually I'm the good one. But reading all this information here, it didn't state that, until I had to make a couple of calls today, that the property owners were going to pay for the construction. But before I vote on this resolution tonight to move forward, I would like to see more than one representative here. It makes me feel more comfortable and that they are totally interested, as well as something in black and white, that you will handle the whole bill, because our residents here, we have streets, have potholes and water and ice and everything like that in the city. And we have to put our residents first. There's a lot of work to be done on residential streets here in the city. And that's why, if I don't have anything in front of me in black and white, I can't vote on it at the present. I think it's a great idea. I take my hat off to you. But for me to say, okay, go for it, I'm gonna have to have something in black and white stating your intentions, not just to come in and say, oh, okay, we're gonna make this resolutions, and then you can come back and say, well, the city council said so. Show me in black and white, signed, sealed, and delivered, and you've got it. Other than that, it's needed. I love to see the developers come in, but I can't vote yes on this resolution tonight.
Okay. I have a comment from Councilwoman Abdo and then Councilwoman Williams. Ms. Abdo?
Roberto, my question is, what expenses, if any, does the city have with this? That, you're saying they're going to cover it all. Is there anything that we are paying as a city?
Okay, so at this time, the board has not made any suggestions of paying anything, neither have we. because quite frankly, we just don't have the money.
I know that.
So as it stands right now, I'm sure the district would want some voluntary help, but nobody is suggesting that because we just don't know where the funds would come from. So there's no commitment from the administration on this SAD. So as the mayor kind of mentioned, we've tried for successionally 6-7 years to get the district interested in an SAD, and finally they're interested. And, you know, they're willing to take on the burden. And the cost is going up. You know, the longer they wait, the longer we wait. The last estimate we had before the pandemic, this complex was roughly around 1.6 million without the bonding costs. I would think we're somewhere north of 2 million now, you know, so, but to answer the question, there's been no discussions over city contribution because quite frankly, there just is no funding.
Well, you can understand why I'm asking when we have residents who call
Absolutely.
about the streets. So I wanted to make sure that that was clear. And it is. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Williams?
Yes, and I just wanted to, I was clear when the mayor answered the question saying that the city didn't have any funding. But again, I say thank you, and thank you to the other businesses that are willing to stand up and pay their fair share of fixing, you know, the road over there. My husband drives over there a lot, picking up loads, dropping off loads, and you're right, flat tires, load shifting. So it has been a major problem, and I understand that it's a lot of residents' road, but this is not putting a tax or a special assessment on the residents, it's putting a special assessments on the businesses. So,
If I may add too, I don't know, again, if you guys travel Metroplex, which is right behind the Tim Hortons, those people don't want to pay, and that's why some of them buildings are the way they are, because you just don't, people don't want to rent when the roads are a mess like that. Branch Street could end up the same way. You guys could end up losing tax base, because what's going to happen if those roads don't get fixed, we're not going to get the tenants. And as a landlord, I can assure you, we've had people that walked away. They said, there's no way we're going to rent space when the road looks like this. So the risk that we're going to run is that it could end up like Metroplex. And then you're going to end up with vacant buildings and the tax base is going to go down. So I can understand, but it's a team effort. And it wasn't easy getting it to where it is right now. Nobody wants to pay. Mind you, nobody wants to pay to get these roads fixed, but we understand we're going to have to pay. But it's an effort that we got to do together. You know, I understand you guys got residents and all that, but I mean, you guys can do the same thing with the residents. If they want to pay more money, fix the roads.
John?
Yes, Mr. Wadsworth?
Roberto, at what point do we find out what our costs would be? And could those costs be rolled into the bonding issue itself?
Yeah, sure. So there's a lot of options. As Dijon kind of mentioned, there's a series of steps that the administration is going to go through along with the board, which is the hearing, and then our city assessor will put together the district. I would work with our engineering firm to develop an estimate. We take the districts, the lot sizes, the frontages, and divide through the cost, and we start to figure out what is every parcel's share due to be paid over a successional period on the improvement. At that point, yeah, we can consider what should be city responsibility, if any, if there's a contribution, and how would we pay for that? And that could be through bonding.
Okay, but then the individual property owner would get a separate bill or be rolled into his taxes?
They'd be rolled into their tax assessment.
Okay, fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
Attorney,
Yeah, I just want to clarify that tonight's vote is not the last vote that you're going to have to make on this. At a subsequent date after this public hearing, once those numbers are established, you get to vote on establishment of the district, and then there's also going to be a roll that shows what each property is going to have to pay that has to be approved by you also before this actually ends up with a bond sale and actual construction.
Fine.
thank
you.
Ms. Roscoe?
Last comment I want to make is, in the long run, I mean, we can't see it tomorrow, but in the long run, it's going to save us money because we're not going to have to try to maintain that road like we have been, just like the mayor mentioned about the, filling in the potholes and what have you. And not only that, the safety issue that is at Brant and Ecorse, and I don't exaggerate that. I see it. If I would have went down through there yesterday after the rain we had, I can guarantee you it was flooded, big time, pulling into Brant. It's a Sunday, you don't have as much traffic down through there then, but still.
Correct, and just a couple other points. I think Mr. Romano kind of made some key points regarding what the economical impact would be on the municipality.
Definitely.
Should we have those buildings not go to lease or renting or for sale, or the property values fall down. But at the same token, the one thing that, is in my responsibility is that's still a city road. So whatever happens there, be it next year or 10 years from now or 5 years from now, we're going to be faced with something, and it might cost everybody more. If those businesses, there's no more leasing and there's no interested parties in moving in, then we're going to be scrambling around trying to do something to attract tax base back in, which is going to offset something for the residents anyhow. So it's an intertwined issue.
Okay, any other comments from council? No more comments from council?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As mentioned earlier, there are 2 actions required of council should council elect to proceed forward with this petition. So the first action item is to adopt a resolution determining the need for improvement of Branch Street and Cypress Street between Ecorse Road and Beverly Road, and further direct the city engineers to prepare a report ascertaining the quantities of materials necessary for the completion of such improvement and prepare a detailed estimate of all expenses incidental to the improvement.
Through the chair,
Yes, Ms. Talley.
I'd like to make that motion to adopt a resolution determining the need for improvement of Branch Street and Cypress Street between Ecorse Road and Beverly Road, and further direct the city engineers to prepare a report ascertaining the quantities of materials necessary for the completion of such improvement and prepare a detailed estimate of all the expenses incidental to the improvement.
Support.
Who supported that?
Mr. Wadsworth.
Who?
You can give it to Bill.
It's motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Williams to adopt a resolution determining the need for improvements of the roads mentioned. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
No.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. The second action item is to schedule a public hearing to be held in the Romulus City Hall Council Chambers on Monday, January 9th, 2023, at 6 p.m. for the purposes of discussing and hearing objections to the proposed improvements. The date and time are available for this request.
So moved over the meeting on January 9th.
Support.
A motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to schedule a public hearing to be held in Romulus City Hall Council Chambers on Monday, January the 9th at 6 p.m. for the purpose of discussing and hearing objections to the proposed improvements. Any discussion?
Well, I have a discussion.
Yes, Ms. Webb.
To me, this is like sort of backwards, but yes, for the public hearing, I want to know what's going on before I cast my vote for anything else. Okay?
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, City Council. Just for information purposes, taxpayers in the Special Assessment District will be notified by mail of the public hearing in addition to its advertisement in the newspaper in accordance with the Romulus Code of Ordinance. And I also printed out a copy of the Romulus Code of Ordinance, Chapter 50, and delivered it on the dais to each of the council members just for your information and your review. At the next regular council meeting after the public hearing, and that will be January 23rd, 2023, the City Council shall by resolution determine whether to proceed with the special assessment district. If council determines to proceed with the improvement, the city assessor shall prepare the proposed assessment roll, and another public hearing will be requested to discuss and hear objections to this proposed special assessment. That concludes our petitioners. There's no more petitioners in tonight's agenda. Number 4 is the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Deputy Clerk. First of all, there was no special report tonight. And second, I want to, Chair, going to recognize Councilwoman Abdo.
Thank you. I have the awards here for the City of Romulus Scarecrow Contest winner. If you drove through Romulus, you notice every year we have a scarecrow contest. And let's see, free hugs, that would be third place. The third place winner goes to Cost Customs. Do I have someone here from that? Okay, please come forward. Mike, you're gonna get it. Yeah. There. She recognizes. Thank you. Second place goes to the Romulus Public Library. Is there anyone here from the Romulus Public Library? Okay, I will take it since I'm on the library board and deliver it to the library. And the first place, the award goes to Romulus Flowers and Gifts. And I don't see anybody here I know. All right, thank you.
Okay, first of all, I want to say I hope everyone had a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And second, I want to congratulate the University of Michigan win over Ohio State.
Yes.
However, my son went to Ohio State. I was there for the Thanksgiving weekend. When they was winning, I said yes. When they was losing, I said yes, but he didn't see me. My daughter and granddaughter went to Michigan State. My nephew went to Michigan. My niece went to Michigan. So for Christmas, I'm getting a special hat to represent all three. And I'd just like to say thank for a good game and go blue. I'm in Michigan now, go blue. I told my son there's no council meeting tonight, so you don't have to look at it. That concludes the chairperson's report.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion, accept your report.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe, supported by Ms. Talley, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Oh, one more thing before I say, and also, Ms. Webb, we have some in common also. Ms. Webb can do that, when she wants to,
You want me to?
go ahead, Ms. Webb.
Well, John and I did not bump into one another, but we should have because our relatives, my niece and my granddaughters at Michigan State, and also my cousins from Chicago, he's at the U of M. I was in Ohio for a minute, and I just tried to hurry up and get up out of there before Thanksgiving, And I have 7 cousins who graduated from Ohio State, and one flew in for his brother-in-law's funeral from Panama. So it was not a fun time for me, but that's okay. I had to pretend. So I'm like John, when in Rome, you know, I'm like, would somebody hand me that jersey over there, you know, instead of we changing back jerseys. But congratulations to both teams because they are very, very, very talented. And I appreciate rooting for the U of M as well as Ohio State. There's some good guys, you know. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Webb. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. That motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Deputy Clerk, members of the listening audience, and also members there at home. Before I start my report tonight, I have a couple honored guests I'm privileged to bring to you today. First, I'd like to call up our newly elected state representative for District 31, Reggie Miller. I'd like to introduce you to her and have her say a few words, please.
Hi, everyone. Reggie Miller here. I've been elected state representative of District 31. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I represent each and every one of you. I am so excited to be here. It was a very trying race, but here I am before you telling you I will work for Romulus. Precincts 11 and 12 are assigned to me, and I will be in contact with each and every one of you to get to know you better, to get to know Romulus better. So I thank you for taking the time to let me come up here tonight and introduce myself. I'd also like to bring up your other state representative, Dylan Wygella,
District
state
26.
representative-elect.
Thank you. Actually got the last name right, so I'm impressed. I'm Dylan Wygella, and I've had the pleasure of speaking with several people on council at one point or another, and I look forward, and actually knocked on, I think, several of your doors even though you maybe weren't home. And I look forward to working with everybody. So I'll be brief, but I'm a public school teacher. I'm actually in my last week of teaching. I've been teaching for 8 years. I'm going to represent District 26, which is Garden City, Inkster, Southeast Westland, Northeast Romulus. So I have the vast majority of Romulus in my district. So precincts 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I know all of those because I knocked over 2,000 doors in the city. And I'm just beginning to learn everything I can about Romulus. And I look forward to learning from each of you. And hopefully we can bring some resources back to the city and do what we can to help. And I'm all ears, and we get 10 bills each, actually. So if you have any policy ideas specific to the district, please let us know, and we'd love to get working on some of that. So thank you all, and reach out if you have any questions.
Yes, I have two things. Yeah, I know you came by my house because you complimented on the lions I have. It wasn't the Detroit Lions, but the regular Lions, and you like the Lions. And I think Ms. Talley, Councilwoman Talley, we attended Ms. Miller's function.
We did.
And when you said Reggie Miller, you know, there's a basketball player named Reggie Miller. So I said, we're going to see the basketball player. But then I seen you, I said, that's not Reggie Miller, the basketball player. But Councilwoman Talley and I, we did attend your function, very nice function. And thank you both for winning, and congratulations.
Through the chair, can I make
Yes.
a quick comment?
Yes.
So you guys have been here since the beginning of the council meeting, correct? Yes. So y'all heard our petitioner, right? So I just duly noted. Yes. Thank you. And I would like to meet with, I would love to meet with each one of you individually. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. We have another council person that wanted to speak, Ms. Williams.
To the both of you, I would just like to say thank you so much for even coming back, because it's not just to this council and our mayor, but it's also to the residents that are viewing, to come back and say thank you. That means so much. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Webb?
Yes, I'd just like to say welcome. And thank you very much. And we will be looking for you at all of our different functions and events in the city when you are able to come. We would love to have you at any time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Webb. Mayor?
Is it? No? Okay. Thank you again for coming tonight. Appreciate you coming out and making the introductions and putting a face on the names, and look forward to working with you. And like I say all the time, we are the gateway to Michigan, so you're gonna wanna know this, really well. When they first started the discussions over redistricting, a lot of people were upset, but I'm always an optimist. I figured, well, now we're gonna have 3 people speaking for our community and telling our stories, so I'm looking forward to working with 3 and have 3 voices up there in Lansing. So thank you very much, and thank you for coming tonight, and congratulations on the win. It's no easy task to step up and put your name on a ballot, but you did it, you got involved, and congratulations on a good win, so thank you.
Thank you.
The next up, I would like you to direct your attention to the monitors, where we have Ms. Tolliver with the community message for us.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Tolliver, and here are some events happening in Romulus. Come out this Thursday, December 1st, for the official city Christmas tree lighting and viewing of the Canadian Pacific Holiday Train. The event will begin at 6 p.m. at the Romulus Historical Park with vendors and concessions. At 6:30, Santa will arrive and our special helper will then flip the switch and light up the tree. Stay with us following the tree lighting for a number of activities while we wait the Canadian Pacific Holiday Train to pass through Romulus. There will be a short musical performance from members of the Romulus High School Band, visits with Santa, activities, games, and more. The train is anticipated to arrive between 8 and 10 p.m. Bring a non-perishable food item and help stuff the bus to benefit Helping Hand Food Pantry. Join the Romulus Recreation Department on Saturday, December 10th for Brunch with Santa. The cost is $12 per child and includes brunch, story time, photo with Santa, and a special holiday craft. Adults may also enjoy brunch for $5 each. Tickets may be purchased at the Community Development Office in City Hall by Monday, December 5th, or call 734-941-8665 for more information. Recreation drop-in volleyball takes place on Fridays at the Romulus Middle School from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. and costs $5. If you have a relative or a loved one who is a veteran of the United States Armed Forces and is currently buried in the Romulus Memorial Cemetery, we need your help in making sure that they are registered with the clerk's office so that their grave is properly honored at the Reefs Across America ceremony on December 17, 2022. Please contact the city clerk's office at 734-942-7540. Thanks everyone, and remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website for more information. Have a great night.
Thank you, Vanessa. The only thing that I have is just some additional detail on the tree lighting ceremony. We're growing the event this year. We're also taking advantage of the train that's coming through here. So like Vanessa said, between 8 and 10, we're not sure when that train will come through. We're going to pay attention to it. When they cross through customs, when we'll know. But we're bringing the high school band out to stuff the bus, to bring non-perishable food items for our food pantry. This is a great community event. We're going to grow it. Even bringing the high school in this year too. We're going to have the symphony band performance. So I'm looking forward to that. The Girl Scouts are even going to come and participate and sing some Christmas carols. So looking forward to that event. And then also I get to give the big guy the key to the city, so we make sure that he visits Mr. Wadsworth and his community and all the other family members here who've been behaving all year. So I'm looking forward to that event. Please come on down, and we will see you on Thursday night. Thank you. I'll conclude my report for the night.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion.
Yes, Ms. Roscoe?
Oh, never mind. We're not to that yet. He was just talking about it. The road closure. We'll do it next.
Through the chair, Mr. Mayor, I think you have an action item on your
Right.
report.
I was waiting.
Right.
Wait a minute, what do I have?
He just,
Oh, did not put that in my packet. Well, we always say we plan better, but we react even better. So I would ask the council authorize the administration for the road closure on Goddard Road between Moore Street and the railroad tracks east of Shook, beginning at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, December 1st, 2022, ending at 11 p.m. that evening for the annual tree lighting and arrival of the Canadian Pacific Holiday Train.
Mr. Chair,
yes, Ms. Roscoe?
I'll now make a motion to concur with the administration and authorize the closure of Goddard Road between Moore Street and the railroad tracks east of Shook Road, beginning at 4 p.m. on Thursday, December 1st, 2022, and ending at 11 p.m. that evening for the annual tree lighting and arrival of the Canadian Pacific Holiday Train. And I'd just like to say that Santa will be there at 6:30, just for information.
It's been motioned by Ms. Roscoe. Who supported that? I did. You did? Ms. Williams supported that? Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes, with discussion, one little point.
Oh, go ahead, Ms. Webb.
Please bring the children out, not only to see Santa, but to see the Canadian Pacific train. That is so beautiful, and the kids just love it.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Webb. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 6 is the clerk's report. There are 2 action items under the clerk's report. Agenda item 6A for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 22/23-9 in the amount of $105,000 to use funds that were budgeted in fiscal year 21 for 5 police vehicles that were not delivered in 2021. This budget amendment was introduced at the November 14, 2022 regular council meeting.
Mr. Chair, I'll make
Yes.
that motion for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 22/23-9 in the amount of $105,000 to use funds that were budgeted in the 21 for the 5 police vehicles that were not delivered in 2021.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for second reading and final adoption of Budget Amendment 22/23-9. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council. Agenda item 6B is a study session request. Our City Treasurer, Stacy Page, is requesting a 30-minute study session on Monday, December 5th, 2022, at 7 p.m. to discuss the quarterly investment report. The date and times are available for this request.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, for a study session meeting on Monday, December the 5th at 7 p.m.
Support.
Been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Williams for a study session request for Monday, December the 5th at 7 p.m. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, City Council, and that concludes the clerk's report.
Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you. Number 7 is the Treasurer's report. Our City Treasurer is not present at tonight's council meeting, and she has indicated she do not have any items under her report. That brings us to number 8, public comment. This is the portion of the agenda for those in the audience who would like to address City Council. The rules to address City Council can be found on the back of the meeting agenda. If you would like to address City Council, please raise your hand, and after being acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and state your name. Please note, members of the public who submitted a public comment card will be called upon first. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. As a reminder, members of the public viewing tonight's meeting via our city's broadcast channel or YouTube Live can submit their public comment to publiccomment@romulusgov.com before the end of the public comment period. Mr. Chair, I have not received any public comment cards, and I have not received any emails to our public comment email address.
Thank you. Any comments from the audience? Mr. Miller.
Good evening, Charles Miller, St. Aloysius Street, Romulus. First off, I would like to thank all those who voted for me in the school board election. My grandchildren, Zoe and Bella, represent the 3rd generation to go to the Romulus school system. Starting with myself, having graduated in 1962. To the present, Zoe, having graduated from kindergarten last school semester. Although I did not prevail, I will continue to voice my opinion and the opinion of those who believe in the truth, honesty, and justice. And I look forward to the next challenge. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? If there's no more comments from the audience, Deputy Clerk will close that part out.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 9 is unfinished business.
John?
Yeah, Mr.
If
Wadsworth.
I can to the mayor. Mayor, at the corner of Barth and at the end there, Hannon Road, there was a ditch that served the people of that subdivision. And I've got nothing but compliments from the DPW workers that went there about a month ago, and they cleaned it out, and it's working quite well, and they're quite pleased about the job.
Thank you. I'll make sure that the crew hears about that.
Okay.
If there's no more unfinished business, number 10 is new business. Number 11 is warrant. For approval is warrant number 22-22.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion, we pay warrant 22-22 in the following amounts. General Fund, $140,658.41. Major Street Fund, $1,719.83. Local Street Fund, $819.21. Public Safety Fund, $13,656.79. Cable TV, $533.23. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $18,103.19. Oakwood SAD, $46.38. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $1,955.75. Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Fund, $740. 911 Service Fund, $791.60. NARC Forfeiture State, $84.07. Library Fund, $6,409.91. DDA, $1,756.25. Tifa District 2, $14,082.89. Vining Road Extension E-Course Construction, $15,157.50. Water and Sewer Fund, $72,960.27. Motor Vehicle, $20,144.43. Technology Services, $739.18. Retiree Insurance Benefits, $153,907.47. Revolving Fund, $4,793.75. Current tax, $90,422.54. Payroll Fund, $108,502.23. Totaling all funds, $667,984.88.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Talley, to pay warrant number 22-22 for $667,984.88. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Mr. Chair, I also have a warrant, a motion to pay warrant 22-22E for the total amount of $19,597. This warrant is for paying the workers from the last election, and I'm not going to read all their names.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a second?
Support.
Ms. Webb.
It's been motioned by Ms. Abdo, supported by Ms. Roscoe, to pay warrant number 22-22E for $19,597. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 12 is communications.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Tally?
Just piggyback, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I had an awesome Thanksgiving. I pray everybody else had the same. A lot of organizations was around our city doing a lot of Thanksgiving baskets. So I just want to shout out to the ones who was out there and saw a need out there with families that had need of food or things for Thanksgiving. So thank you for everybody who took on that initiative individually, corporately, however you did it. Thank you for your service. Bertie told me that our police department was out there giving out Thanksgiving baskets. So shout out to our police department, Romulus the police, and anybody else that was out here serving people to help them through something can be a very difficult time. Thank you for your service. Next week, there was a meeting back a few weeks ago, I think November 17th. We're starting a Romulus Kiwanis Club. Is that right, Roger? Are you the contact person? I'm not sure who the contact person is, but I just want
now.
It's not Roger? Okay. Well, we did, Romulus Kiwanis started a couple of weeks ago. I'm not sure who the contact person is, if somebody knows. Do you know, Ms. Abdo?
I'm sorry,
Do you
question?
know?
John West.
Who?
John West.
John Wester.
Wester.
John Wester, the flyers, yeah. So John Wester's the contact person. Ms. Williams, do we know how they can, if people are interested, how they can maybe reach out to him?
We can probably have the mayor to put it up on the city site.
Can we do that?
Absolutely. We did
Okay.
meet with the Kiwanis, and they were interested in coming here, so I'm glad to see there's some momentum and some participation.
Yeah.
So we could definitely work on some recruiting
Yeah.
and get some people to work. It's another great organization here that I'm sure will do well in Romulus.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, John Wester is the president, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we just keep that in mind. We got to get some hands and feet on this to help get it running in Romulus. Our kids, we got to think about our kids here. I talk a lot about mentorship, what a great tool here to start in our city, or revamp it, because, Roger, it was here a long time ago, right? Yeah, so let's help and get that moving in our city of Romulus. Thank you, Mayor, for your support in that. And then we had a couple of great events here. We had a ribbon cutting at the Nest. It's our small business incubator here in Romulus. It's at the Chamber Building, Chamber Buildings at Shook Road. Laura Sigmund, is she the director? Is like the director?
Yeah, she's a director, and she runs an organization that'll be housed in there.
Can you
She'll
talk
be
about it a little bit, Mayor?
Should be an incredible asset. So we provided some small businesses with opportunities in storefronts here in the city of Romulus. We're working on expanding that. But she's really the second step, and I'm excited about that. So she'll be here to support them, examine their business plans, see what they're doing well at, what they do better at, and how they improve and not only open their business here, but achieve their dream and be sustainable. So very excited about that. It's really the step number 2 in this program. And she's really hit the ground running over there. A lot of excitement, a lot of things moving forward. She had a lot of nice people out there at the event. And again, the shining the spotlight on one more positive thing going on here in Romulus.
Absolutely. It was a great ribbon cutting, and it was just a great event. And thanks for our city of Romulus to support in that initiative. So thanks to that, great shout out for that. And then we had a great event at Hale Creek Elementary School. Dr. Yolanda Bludstar, our interim superintendent, made contact with a former Romulus student, Sam Estes, who graduated, I think, around 2001, and he did an appreciation for the teachers at Hale Creek. Awesome event. He just did it up in style, just showing his appreciation for the teachers. He went to Hale Creek as his elementary school, and of course went on to Romulus High, graduated from Romulus, and just doing amazing things with the Huntley Foundation. So shout out to Sam Estes. His brother Jonathan was there as well, and Dr. Yolanda Bludstar for pulling that event together, and the connection she made with Sam Estes, and them pulling it together just to show some appreciation to our Hale Creek teachers over there. He sat down with them at a table and sat and talked with them, see what their needs are. What can I do to support you? So thank you, Sam, for wanting to get back to our city of Romulus. We need all the help, and any former Romulus residents, alumni, we need your help and come and support our city. Our city is on the move, like the mayor said. It's things rocking and rolling here. I always used to say, the train is rolling. You can get on board, or you can sit back and watch while we go in the breeze. So I'm just saying. So thank you, Dr. Yolanda Bludstar. Thank you, Sam Estes, for your support in our city and our school district. 2 amazing events we had over the last couple of weeks. So we had a great event. at the Upscale Warehouse Lounge. We had a packed-out event on Saturday with Cameron McCullum and friends. He came back by popular demand, and it was just a great evening at the Upscale Warehouse. And so they're there Friday, Saturday. Sundays, they do brunch, starting at 11 a.m., and they're located at 6492 Wayne Road, Romulus. So keep them in mind for your needs, entertainment needs. They are planning a New Year's Eve celebration. More details to come on that. I know that there are going to be several comedians there on New Year's Eve and a band there as well. So more details to come on that. So remember the Upscale Warehouse if you don't have nothing to do on New Year's Eve. And then lastly, just want to just our residents, just stay involved, stay engaged, stay connected in our community. So much going on in our city, so much to be involved with, so much to stay engaged with. So I just encourage all our residents to stay connected to the city. It's on the move. That's all I can say, it's on the move. And thank you, Mayor, for all that you're doing in our city of Romulus. And as we're going into the holiday season, I always want to start, it's a great time of the year for me. I love this type of the season, just peace on earth and goodwill towards all men. Let's just be peaceable as much as we know how. Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Ms. Abdo?
I just wanted to also add to what you were talking about. Yes, Sam Estes was a former student of mine, as was all the brothers and sisters, so it was good to see him. But what was was really neat is that the caterer there was also a former student,
Yeah.
Benita Bell, and I just wanted to give, her a mention because it was a great event and she did a great job.
Yes,
And
she did.
It was one Romulus putting us together. Thanks.
And just to that, Miss, I met a relative of hers, and I was telling him how you were just really talking around, and you're trying to get her all connected with other events, and I'm like, oh, Miss Abdo was on it, so thank you for that, Miss Abdo. I omitted that one.
Ms. Williams?
Yes, and what Councilwoman Talley was speaking of, the Upscale Warehouse Lounge, they did send me that flyer.
Okay.
They're gonna have comedy starting at 8. The band will start at 10. Dinner will be served with champagne, and it's $100 a person. So you can contact Carol Lewis or either Vince Lewis for the tickets. And also, just to let the residents know, we're still at the high school, starting at 10 o'clock. Some arrive earlier, and we're there until 12 until we're done. So all residents are more than welcome. Thank you.
Councilwoman Williams, can you share that flyer? Do you have a copy that you can share? By any chance? Thank you.
Done. Okay, thank you. Mayor?
Just one more, and I'll make it quick. Just share some good news, and we talk about all the time. We have, our obvious assets in this community that are the airport and the infrastructure, but our residents are our number one and our biggest supporter out there, and it's our number one asset, I believe. And just before we had a meeting here tonight, we had a beautification committee out. So thank you to all the volunteers that have served on another board or commission, take their time. But to see the photos of the homes and these residents who are recognized for taking care of their homes, I'll admittedly say I focus more on the blight sometimes because I come from code enforcement, so I see that, and we want to make improvements there, but it was so nice to see all these beautiful homes that were up on the screen, and these residents being acknowledged for their pride in community and how well they do in the community without being told to do it. It's so nice to have somebody that has pride in where they live in their homes and are taking care of it. So it was good to see that. Thank you to all the residents who received a certificate tonight and the beautification committee for being out here on the time spent. And also another little bit of good news, Wreaths Across America. I'll invite you both to the event on the 17th if you haven't participated yet in Romulus. This is our 5th year doing it. Every year we've sold out. And once again, today Wreaths sales closed and we did sell out again. But hats off to our big corporate sponsor, our Downtown Comerica Bank. They got involved and they've been backing us for a few years on this event. And because of their participation here and their conversations in their boardroom, Comerica has branched out. So now they're in Texas and they're in California. And this is a nationwide event where they honor our veterans at the same time on the same day. So now Comerica's involvement is spread throughout the country. And I'm going to give Romulus credit for that because our success over here and our goodwill, and like I say all the time, we do Patriot well in Romulus. I'm excited that Comerica is going to help grow that nationwide. So just a little bit of good news I want to share. So we are sold out again. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out on December 17th to honor our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to, any other comments? Well, first of all, I got a call from some residents. Just before I was going out of town, they told me to mention to the mayor, McCray, for a good job you're doing and your staff, Roberto, Scapacci, and job, and the fire department and police department. I said, what y'all call them? But so they probably be giving you a call, and they appreciate the job you guys are doing.
I appreciate it. They probably saved the calls to my office about potholes, so I appreciate the good news. So, yeah, we got a great team working for us here.
Okay. And another thing, I want to congratulate Belleville for being the division champs. My cousin, Derek Barton, grandson, plays for Belleville, and they was division champs. And last but not least, the Lions are tied for second place. I don't know how long they're gonna last that, Bill. But we got, at least we're in second place for now, Ms. Webb. That concludes my report.
Excuse me, John, don't forget about Nate. Congratulations to Nate.
Oh, yeah. Congratulate to Nate. I'd like for Ms. Abdo to speak on that a little bit. Congratulations, Nate.
Yes. Nate Oates, our former Romulus High School basketball coach, is now the head coach at Alabama. I believe this is his third year. And he beat the #1 team last night after 4 overtimes. So, congratulations, Nate.
All right, Piston, look for them drafts now. Lions and Pistons, look for drafts. Okay.
There's no more communication. Number 13 is adjournment. The time is 8:38.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Roscoe for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Webb?
Yes.
Ms. Abdo?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.